Welcome to Pucked Up Hockey Moms, the landing space for moms of all ages, shapes, and sizes. And we won't hate it if the non-mom joins either. We just hope your ears are as unfiltered as our mouths, and you're as passionate about hockey as we are. It's time to get offside, ladies, and no whistles are being blown here. I'm your host, Amanda, and on today's episode, we have Brittany and Tricia back to chat about hockey terminology. Hi, ladies.
Hi.
Hello.
We had some questions earlier asking to explain some hockey terms. Yes, one of those questions might have been from my mother, but I thought that it was a good idea. So nonetheless, we're going to explain some terms. I'll give a definition, and then we'll probably digress and talk about random stories of our hockey lives with these. So some of them are on ice, off ice, and terms too. To start us off, it has offside, which is one of my favorite because it works like for humor as well as on the ice. It's described as a rule violation that occurs when an attacking player enters the offensive zone before the puck does, which the blue line, right? So if the player goes over the blue line before the puck does, which happens so much.
It does. That seems like the most common call.
That and icing, yeah.
Yeah, like that, yeah.
Yeah, I yell offside a ton. How about you, Tricia?
Yes. Why is it offside? Why isn't it offside? And then you go to playoffs with your child and
Zone. Yeah.
They enter, but they enter ass first and the puck is on their stick and it's okay. But if the puck is not totally under the control, but they still enter ass first, it's offside. So the puck has to be under control and you can enter your skates first.
That's weird.
Right?
I always thought the puck had to be on it first, but sometimes I think that's just bad calls. I don't know. Now I have to look it up.
Yeah. Well, you're down 13-3 and your child gets that awkward pass and she's going in, but her butt enters first. And you're like, no, she had it under control, but she didn't.
Yeah. And it really matters when it's 13-3 too.
Right?
It's very important. It's a vital
you think
call.
you know a rule, and then there's these little things, and you're like, so you just keep learning.
Yeah. I know. We want them to learn how to be faster backward skaters until their ass goes over the blue line first, and then you're like, nope, you should have turned around.
Stand up straight and skate backwards. Don't bend over, so stick out first.
Yeah.
I also find it harder. I find it harder to tell offsides with the younger players too, like so my son's age. Because they're grouped together and you can't necessarily see sometimes, whereas the older ones where they're playing more positionally because they know what they're doing more.
They're a little more
it's easier to tell when when there's separation between players. But
when you have 4 players going in at once, it's hard to tell who was over the blue line first. This does bring us to the zone part. So offensive zone. Oh, there's 3 bullets here. This is fancy. I will say that ChatGPT, who's my best friend, and I have a weird, uncomfortable, and awkward relationship with this at this point, answered all my questions when I looked up terminology. So if you have any problems with my terminology, you can get mad at artificial intelligence and not me. This is the area of the rink. So offensive zone, this is the area of the rink where the attacking team tries to score on the opposing team's net. So you're going in over the blue line and you're trying to score. So if that's the offensive zone, it is located between the opponent's blue line and their goal line. And then when the team has possession of the puck in this zone, they are the offensive and are attempting to create scoring opportunities. So that's always I always know what the zones are, but I always say them wrong in the game when I'm yelling at the stripes. Because I don't have full control of my vocabulary when I'm cheering passionately, I think.
So you just couldn't get them backwards?
I just don't know what to pull from when I'm yelling.
Just feel the need to yell something.
Yeah. I just need to not say zone at all in my cheering.
Offense, defense, kitchen.
Yeah, kitchen. Oh my gosh. That brings me to when we first joined female hockey and one of the other dads, that they were new to female hockey as well. And he kept yelling at his daughter to get in the kitchen and all these moms turned and stared at him. He's like, what? I'm telling her to get in the kitchen. They're like, you can't say that. I was dying. Just dying.
I remember
like,
that.
well, I know what he means, but I guess to a bunch of females, it might sound bad when you tell her to get in the kitchen.
Yeah.
He didn't end it with, and make me a sandwich. So I didn't see why it was that bad. But yeah, we had to change our lingo when we moved over to female hockey for that 1 year. Next is the neutral zone. So these are like the center ice between the blue lines. Oh, hey, I didn't even have to read that one. I knew this part, guys. It serves as a transition area where the team regroups, changes lines, or sets up offensive plays after gaining possession of the puck, where they do their face-offs to start the game or in between periods. And the team must clear the puck out of this zone to avoid icing and can also employ strategies to regain possession. So this is where I feel like the dads are always freaking out because there's not enough forechecking or back-checking or whatever it is in the neutral zone. Do you hear that a lot about the fathers freaking out about the neutral zone?
For sure.
Yeah.
Lots more needs to happen. Lots more needs to happen in the neutral zone.
Right? If it doesn't go past the neutral zone into your end, then no goals are happening, right? Okay, defensive zone. This is the area in front of a team's own goal, extending from their goal line to their blue line. In this zone, the defending team aims to prevent the opposing team from scoring. Players will focus on defending against attacks, clearing the puck, transitioning to offensive plays when the opportunity arises. Understanding the zones is key to strategy play as team shifts between offensive and defensive zones throughout the game. Yes, I'm usually yelling a lot when they're in the defensive zone.
Yes, you are. Your child is a D.
Yeah, that's true.
So,
yeah.
I don't know what to yell when she plays forward. I just think she's out of position and I don't know. I'm like, does she look okay? Is she doing it right? She's not a forward.
You got to yell forecheck.
Yeah, I don't know what that means though. So
when you're in the offensive zone, you need to get
sure that's down the list somewhere there.
Get the puck.
I'm sure it is. I feel like it is. Maybe I should have read them all and memorized them like I was studying for like, I don't know, an English test or something maybe.
I feel like a lot of the kids, maybe at the first year U13 level, get thrown a lot of these in the offensive zone, in the defense zone, forechecking, all that. I feel like they get thrown a lot of this jargon and they have no idea what the coach is talking about. It goes from play and have fun to forecheck and get puck and do all the things very quickly. It's good to know and practice. I think I had a friend that had two boys that were into hockey, and so they pretty much set their whole living room up like a hockey rink, and they had the colored tape on the floor and everything, and they did a lot that summer. It was great. And it was adorable.
We should do that in the barn.
Yeah. Kaiden had no idea what any of that was when he started this year, and he's U11. So, but I've heard the coach use a lot of that terminology before, and he was like, "What?"
Kids are like, "What? Don't I just pass the puck? What are you talking about? I just want to get the puck in the net." Like,
don't I just skate and shoot? No, that's it.
Yeah. Isn't it just my turn to touch the puck? Yeah, they don't always know all the terms. And I guess that's hard too when they're moving levels and stuff. The coaches don't always know what every kid knows, so they just start using all the terms and they'll figure it out, they hope.
These little hockey faces just nodding. Okay. I don't want to argue.
Questions because I'm the one that doesn't know anything. Yeah, absolutely. Icing. A situation where a player shoots the puck from their defensive zone across the center red line and past the opposing team's goal line, resulting in a stoppage of play. So that one gets yelled a lot.
I still can't tell why it's okay. I know it's okay when you have a player in the penalty box.
Yeah.
So is it every other time that it's then not okay? I get so
technically,
confused.
as long as you pass center ice, as long as you're past the red line, if the puck is past the red line when you pass it into the offensive zone, it's not supposed to be icing. Or if you've passed it and it touches another one of your players' sticks and then goes in, it's not icing.
Your players or any player?
If it touches I guess essentially if someone else.
Well, if it touches the other team, then okay.
Exactly.
Myself.
And I know I was watching my son play on the East Coast in the U.S. And so I don't know all the rules of USA hockey, obviously, because definitely new to that vibe. But in their tournament, they were on a penalty kill and they kept icing the puck. and they kept stopping the play. And I was freaking out at the television, like, they're on a PK. What is the problem? Like, but apparently you're not allowed to ice the puck during penalty kill, which my husband explained to me with a bunch of words and I didn't understand. I mean, it didn't work, so I just ignored him. But that's a thing.
Interesting.
I like it much better that you can actually have the advantage of icing the puck because you're just trying to get it out of your defensive zone so that you can like change lines and stuff. So
at a higher level, they're not allowed to change lines.
Yes, at a higher level, if you're not on a penalty kill and you ice it, you're not allowed to change lines and the refs will pull you back. They'll stop the play, yell at the players, call out the numbers, and pull them back on the ice.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Next comes power play, which we were kind of just touching on. A situation where one team has a numerical advantage due to an opponent serving a penalty, whether it becomes 5-on-4 or 4-on-3. When one person's in the penalty box on the other team, then it is a power play, minimum 2 minutes.
I love watching our team get a power play. It's great. It's scary when the other team gets the power play, but it's always such a boost when you kill that power play or they don't score. It's good. It's good teamwork.
Like this season, my daughter's team is much better. Like they've scored shorthanded more than they've scored when they have a one-man advantage. And you're like, how is that happen? You're better when you have one less person, like, which is great. Don't get me wrong. I'm just sometimes flabbergasted that happens.
I think because they're working harder, they know that they have to it's go time now. Like we have to be on and play more defensively at that point, or you'd think more defensively if you're short players then.
Yeah, and lines are changed up. And like an extra forward or whatever. I don't know.
Sometimes they go 4-on-4, and I find that really spreads the teams out, and a lot gets done during 4-on-4. It's a different game, but it definitely makes them pass and move around differently.
The pace changes up for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Penalty shot is a free shot awarded to a player after a defensive player commits a foul, like a trip or a hold, that prevents a goal scoring opportunity. There have been so many times that I don't understand why there is no penalty shot. Have you noticed?
Agreed.
Yeah, but I'm like, why? There should have been they were literally holding them and then veered them off the course of shooting, and then they hit the boards like they should, or they've taken the net off completely with the goalie. I'm like, where's the shot?
Yeah. Or there's been times, it just happened in Kaiden's game on the weekend.
Yeah.
The kid had the puck, but he was by no means ready to score. Like he didn't have a lead on anybody, and they called a penalty shot. And even the parents on the other team were like, what is going on right now? Like, why? What's happening? So our team and their team was like, is this happening? We haven't had a penalty shot all year, and then this one just out of the blue.
I know. And then sometimes they're like, the teams are all going to chase them, like after they start doing the penalty shot, and other times they're not allowed to chase them. I'm like, I don't understand any of these rules. One of the refs apologized to Delaney on the weekend for missing a call. And she's like, which one? And so he goes, never mind. You must not have missed it. She's like, oh no, there were just so many. I wasn't sure which one you were talking about. And so it was between the ice queen or whatever. And so her coaches were laughing, and she was like, I wasn't rude or sassy. I was legitimately trying to ask him which one. Yeah. So he's like, okay, I'm not talking to you anymore. And he just kind of laughed.
That's awesome.
I thought it was pretty funny. It's a good thing she's got her mother's quick wit. Or maybe not. She did get a penalty later that game.
I was going to say, at the end of the game, probably would have been better.
Yeah, I lost that game. So weird. Face off, the method used to start or restart play, where the referee drops the puck between two opposing players. Question on the face off, because there's so many in a game. Why will the ref pick one team versus the other when they're getting irritated and swap players? Do you know? They're doing a face off, and then they'll make the forward switch between the center and the left wing or right wing because they're irritated. How did they choose which side? The home team or the away team?
I don't know.
Is that why they do it? Because they're irritated? I thought it was because, especially when my oldest played, before they even dropped the puck, they'd be chirping each other. And so they would just make one of them switch just to prevent
essentially
whatever.
They're going at it too hard. But and then the ref's okay, enough. But how do they choose which one?
Whoever said something first. It's a great question.
I'm curious.
I'm not sure.
They've only made that one side switch some games. And then I'm like, but why? Like I saw them put a defense in there one time. I'm like, that's weird.
Oh, wow.
I have random questions.
They swapped the center for a defenseman?
Yeah, Delaney had to do it one time. We're on the right side of our own net. And then they had been trying to swap out our center for one of the wingers. And then the ref's like, no, her. And like points to our right D, being my D. And so she had to take the face off. And she's like, what? I've never taken a face off.
That's interesting. Yeah, I didn't know they could do that.
It was very random. Yeah, I've just not seen that one before.
Sometimes they have to just show everybody that they have weight, you know? We're the bosses here. Maybe, I don't
know. It's the most
you have to find an official to interview to get the lowdown on their side.
Have to. Hat trick. When a player scores 3 goals in a single game. Assist, a pass or a play that directly leads to a goal being scored, credited to 1 or 2 players for the assist side. Like, obviously, the one getting the goal gets this point. Body check, a defensive maneuver where a player uses their body to impede an opponent's progress. Whether they're allowed to or not allowed to is another story. Checking, the act of using the body to disrupt an opponent's play, including body checks, stick checks, and poke checks. See, here's the difference. Checking is okay, but body checking is not okay. But within the definition of checking, it says including body checks. Now I'm super confused.
Depends what level you play at, I guess.
Yeah.
Or like using your hips.
Intent behind the body check, like if it's in play or if it's in play and needed to like gain control of the puck, or if you're just retaliating for something. Then
there's body contact, like when you're puck, and that's okay when you're not in contact level of hockey. And then there's just, you're putting a hip into somebody. That's, again, body contact without body checking. Contact and checking are different, I guess, because they both say check. That's why it's checking. Goalie or goaltender, the player positioned in front of the goal whose sole purpose is to prevent the opposing team from scoring. A slap shot is a powerful shot taken by winding up and striking the puck with the blade of the stick. Like, when they say winding, it makes me think like a windmill.
Some kids shoot like that, like a windmill. You're like, what are they doing? Then, boom, clapper.
When they miss, it looks like a windmill.
Yes.
And they spin all the way around. Breakaway is a situation where an offensive player gets past the defenders and is alone against the goaltender. We like breakaways when they're on our side.
Yes.
They're scary as shit.
We don't like that.
Yeah. And then you're like, you got this goalie. You got this goalie. That's what I say in my head or out loud every time.
Very exciting when they save it, though. When you think they're going to when you think like, oh, this is it. They're going to get a goal. And then they save it. And you're like,
I prefer to just keep the mantra of you got this, you got this, you got this. Because if I don't allow my thoughts to think, oh, shit, then
that's my immediate thought.
Yeah, no, that's what I want my immediate to be. But I've learned every time I think that, they do score. So I'm like Tricia, where she thinks she controls the game via her popcorn and her seating arrangements.
I think I do. I love seeing the little ones go in on a breakaway, and it's the other team, and you're still cheering kind of for them, like, because they're so adorable and they're so little, and then they like totally whiff and miss the shot, and then it's adorable as well. Like when they're small and they have that breakaway, it's great. When they're older and they have the breakaway, it's scary, it's stressful. No matter what side you're on, you want things to happen. And yes, it totally matters if I'm sitting in my popcorn spot or not.
It does. I don't know why they don't have popcorn in here. Zamboni is a vehicle used to resurface the ice in arenas, which if you've ever watched hockey, you should know what a Zamboni is. So I feel that's self-explanatory. I'm not going to dive into that anymore. Checking line is a line of players whose primary role is to disrupt the opposing team's key players, often during physical play. So that was like the Goon Squad back in the day.
Yeah, I don't think I've heard that before. A checking line.
Yeah, I don't know if they're really allowed to call it that anymore. You're allowed to have your strong defense and stuff and check U15 and higher in integrated hockey. And in like the female super league, they're allowed contact. I don't know if they call it that anymore. I
haven't heard that one.
Yeah, I feel like it's a Goon Squad thing back in like the originals in like the 80s, where they would just go fight just to fuck things up in the game, you know?
I think you'd definitely be on the checking line, Amanda, if you were back in the day playing hockey. I think that would be your line.
I think it would be.
I agree.
Yeah, that like checking line in hockey or playing roller derby are things I could do.
Yes.
I could definitely see you playing roller derby.
I would not go against you in roller derby. I'd want to be on your team for sure.
Yeah, I think that would be fun, but like I have a fear of falling from heights. So I'm like Kesha. I'm yelling timber. Did you just fall over, Tricia?
No.
I came up with that line before her song came out, I'd just like to say. Empty net, we all hate it. It's a situation where the goaltender has been pulled from the ice for an extra attacker leaving the net unguarded, or they like pull for like a delayed penalty. So when their arm's up and you're like, why is their arm up? Because the other team did something and they're still giving you the advantage because you've got the puck. So that's when the empty net is there. Is there anything on here you think that my AI has missed or you wanted to elaborate on?
Like you think you know the game, but you, as a hockey parent, you have to watch and you almost learn something new at every tournament. Still, at U15, I feel like there's still things that kind of pop out and can be done, and referees can make decisions certain ways. You have to respect it and go with it.
Or maybe not respect it, but you can't change it.
Okay.
Respect it at the arena and then
you have to learn to just handle it and walk away. Accept it. And that's the thing about learning at every different tournament too is, I mean, we live on our little island, and so we go to the mainland in British Columbia to see places, and sometimes places like Seattle or maybe Alberta, but we don't go that far for us per se to see too much of the rest of North America to see all the rules. So I know when I see my son on TV playing elsewhere, I'm like, oh, that's interesting. Why did they call that? But every time you travel somewhere different, you do have to learn something or pick up what they're doing because it is different. Thanks for joining on this hockey terminology. I'm going to break to listen to slang and chirps and lingo or whatnot next. But I appreciate you ladies joining.
Hey, thank you.
So we're back with my oldest, Quentin, and we're going to go over hockey slang and some definitions with it. And hopefully, if I'm lucky, he'll throw in some funny chirps, which may or may not be explicit. Welcome, Quentin.
Hi, guys. Nice to be on the podcast.
He says that as I've forced him and been hounding him. So thank you for being a good child. So we're going to run through some of the stuff that has come up from ChatGPT because it's clearly my favorite thing to look at in life. We'll start off with, I'd say dust or duster, but your dad kind of already talked a little bit about it. But what do you use it for? Like you say dust a lot, don't you?
Like it's just somebody that's either terrible at hockey or you kind of just use it, that's dust, like that's not cool, that's kind of stupid. Or if you call somebody a duster, they're just shit at hockey. So
all right, sounds good. And then puck bunny. I make fun of you for puck bunnies all the time.
Puck bunny is what you'd refer to a girl that watches a lot of the hockey games and is always around the rink, kind of chasing around the hockey boys.
Yeah, puck bunnies, I definitely make fun of puck bunnies here and there. I feel bad, but I don't because half the time they're not wearing a lot of clothes. Put on more clothes, girls. Have a little respect. It's okay. But yes, the puck bunny. What?
It's cold.
It's cold. They can see your face and appreciate you for who you are when you're wearing clothes.
Wow.
Stop. A definition is sometimes used humorously or derogatively for someone who is more interested in players than the game itself, is according to the actual, definition. Top shelf
just refers to scoring, top bit of the net, like around the goalie's ears.
Around their ears. Got it.
Yeah.
Bar down.
That's pretty self-explanatory there. You hit the bar with the puck and it goes down, hopefully in the net.
It's often in highlight reels, apparently.
Yeah.
Sin bin, aka the penalty box. You've been in there quite a bit this year.
Not too much. Not as much as last year.
Yeah. I mean, it's not for anything glorious, though. Come on, do something better.
No, it's fine.
He is rolling his eyes at me. Selly.
Celebration after you score. I know it's hard to explain. You can hit different celebrations, moves, stuff
a dance or gesture, kind of like football players do in the end zone, but not quite as big. And then chirp, because I've already said chirp, but define what a chirp is.
It's kind of just a dust would be a chirp, something that's kind of like making fun of or bugging in a light sense if it's your teammate, or a mean get under the other team's skin sense if it's somebody on the other team. Trying to get in their heads, make them mess up, stuff like that. It's funny.
It's often during the game too, right? Just to psych them out.
Yeah, most of the time.
Now, because I want to know, is that why like the refs will swap out a center for a winger to do the puck drop? Is it because they're chirping?
No, they'll swap them out. That's when if the center goes too early or the wingers aren't lined up properly and they give them a warning and they're still not lined up properly, they make them switch. Kind of as punishment for not lining up on the face-off correctly.
Thank you for explaining that to your mother, who is not wise, because that was an earlier part of this segment where Brittany and Trish and I have no idea. So it's because of like one team's and like not paying attention and not lining up. So that's why they'll give it to one team versus the other, right? It's because that one team wasn't lining up properly.
Yeah,
it's not because they were irritated by it.
No, or they'll do both if both of them don't line up properly. If they send them in to go for the draw before the ref goes on multiple occasions, they'll just switch them out.
And have you ever seen them put a defenseman as a center?
They don't often do that. They just switch in a wing because they're usually have played center before, so good on draws.
I'm still super flabbergasted as to why they made your sister, who was playing defense, go and take a face off.
Unless it happened multiple times, I don't know.
I don't know. It didn't really, but okay, cool. Now I know. I appreciate it. Thank you. Flo.
Hair.
Yeah?
Long hair. Flo or lettuce. Those are the two big ones. Yeah.
Oh, that's what lettuce is. I mean, I don't like lettuce, so that's weird to hear, but okay. You guys and your weird terms. Tape to tape. I know this one.
Yeah, you go for it. Explain it.
No, you do it. I'm just proud of myself.
All right. It's referring to your tape making a pass to the other player on the tape, their stick tape. So direct pass, clean pass, quick.
So a perfect pass from one player's stick to another player's stick. It's smooth and on point.
Yeah.
I read that just now. 5-hole.
Where you score on the goalie's 5-hole, which is between his legs, either when he's in the butterfly, it slips through the hole, or when he's just standing right in that little triangle in between his pads.
Yeah. Slapper,
clap bomb, those are terms for a slap shot, where pretty much is like either one tees, stuff like that, where you're just taking a slap shot.
All right. Now this is one your dad likes to say all the time. Beauty. You either call somebody a beauty, saying they're a fun guy to be around, they're nice, or they do something for you, something like that sense, or it can be something happens, you're like beauty, just like it's good, nice, fun. A skilled player who does something impressive is a beauty? Yeah, it's one way. Yeah. That'd be one term. It's used a bunch of different ways. And then mitts? Good hands, stick handling, good at stick handling. Silky mitts, dangles. Stuff like that. Just means you're smooth with stick handling and good puck placement. Oh, good. You grabbed dangles in there because that was next up. So we talk about dangles a lot. Some kids like to dangle a lot. Some are good at it. Some are not. Some end up getting knee on knee, and that's no fun. Yeah. Is it dangerous to dangle like down the center of the ice, do you think? Depends what level you're playing. You're playing at younger, there's no hitting, so you can skate head down. As soon as you get to the older ages, as soon as you do that, there's some 6'8" defenseman stepping up on you with murderous intent in his eyes. Would you recommend not dangling for people to go straight down the ice, like the middle of the ice? Because they're head down a lot, right? We'll put it in the term of the 4-foot rule. If you're within 4 feet of any blue line, do not try and stick handle or dangle. Just get the puck out. You're in 4 feet of your blue line, defense will step up and you would hit it, or you'll turn it over, the other team can score. You're entering the zone. You're stick handling like that before the blue line, right? You're not the chances of getting in the zone are slimmer. And especially when you get to levels with hitting, you'll get hit. I like that. That's so 4 feet on either side of the blue line kind of thing. Yeah. Definitely be more prepared to get hit. Got it. Okay. Puck luck. Ooh, that's one that gets used a lot at higher levels. Puck luck's what you refer to if you're not getting the bounces you want. So you chip the puck off the wall, and rather than it bouncing where you want to, it bounces right to the other team's stick. Or they get a lucky poke check off you. They have puck luck that you do not have puck luck with you. Or you have puck if you're skating up to block a shot
It hits your shin pads, it bounces right to your stick, and you're on a breakaway. That's pop-puck.
All right. Yep, got it. Gino.
Goal. It's referred to scoring. Gino, goal.
What age group kind of uses Gino? Is it like a lot of younger players use that, or?
I feel like it got popular in my age last year, and then we kind of like sometimes use it, but it just depends on the mood. But now it's popular with the younger kids still.
And then glass. So obviously,
just the glass on the board. So you can use glassing out, like you're trying to chip pucks out, hit it off the glass, stuff like that.
Or
not use too much.
If someone says he got glass. And then wrister.
A wrist shot, pretty simple.
Pylon.
Somebody that's not really doing much out there, standing still, move around them like a pylon.
A player is slow or an easy target for opposing players, like a stationary object.
Yeah.
I feel it's self-explanatory and it makes me laugh, and then I kind of feel bad, but at the same time I don't, because it's hockey. So
yeah, somebody that's like not a good skater, their ankles are bending, somebody that ties their laces behind their ankle and has their tongues hanging out. That's they don't have good ankle support. They just look like they're bendy.
I think I remember the first time you told me this, and I was like, what is a bender? And then you explained it, and I'm like, oh, that makes sense. Their ankles wobble. Okay, snipe.
Scoring, again. It's a nice shot.
A quick, accurate shot, usually to the top corner of the net. He sniped it, top shot. Grinder.
Somebody that just likes to get in the corners and battle. Hard worker.
The beast.
He's a beast out there. He's a big hitter. To get physical, where he's just hard worker, playing good player.
Good player. Yeah. Beast on the ice. Sick. You guys say sick so much, but
sick.
Maybe not.
That's sick. It's cool. Steezy.
What did you say?
Steezy.
Okay, I don't even know what that one is. Now you have to tell me. That's also sick.
It's just sick. Steez.
Okay.
This guy's got Steez style.
Drop the mitts.
Getting ready to fight, you drop the gloves, drop the mitts. That's just when you brawl.
You can be a goon.
Yeah.
Hockey hair.
That same thing is flow.
Longer.
A little bit of hair sticking out the back of the helmet is all you need. Backdoor pass, passing it right into the goalie's back door where he's at one side of the net. Can't slide over in time. You got a wide open backdoor tapping.
Sweater, another term for a jersey.
Sweater, yeah.
Rink rat.
Rink rat. Somebody's always at the rink. Usually, I feel like we use it more when there's little kids around. Kid's a little rink rat. Either has a lot of siblings in hockey, always at the rink. Just, you see them there every time you're there.
Yeah, definitely. It says a player spends a lot of time at the rink, often practicing or just hanging out. But we use it a lot for younger siblings. That's all I got in here, unless you have some chirps you want to add.
There's put that kid in a blender, meaning a blender. They're just spinning around, just where you like slip it between their legs, stick, and they just do full circles. Looks like you put them in a blender. That's all I got. No, that's all I got.
Any big chirps you have or that your buddies use that you distract people with on the ice? I know you say them.
It's usually when you're referring to somebody, somebody's number 25, you go 25, you whatever. Mom's
You're missing all the good stuff.
No, I can't say it. I can't say the good stuff.
Why? Oh, yeah, maybe don't say that.
Yeah.
Wash your mouth out with soap now.
You said I could tell the chirps. How else do you think you get under your skin?
Is it always making fun of moms and sisters?
Well, last time we were playing a team, mom and sister were in the stands, and holy 3-7, your mom's a rocket. Holy 8-5, your sister seeing me in the locker room after the game. Stuff like that. You just gotta get under their skin.
That's funny. I get it. Yeah, that's fine. I don't want to hear the mean ones about the moms. Makes me feel bad. I know you say it, so it's fine. You got to get under their skin.
You get them going. They get mad. They come to do something to you. They get a penalty.
I definitely try and teach your sister stuff that gets under boys' skins. So, yeah. Well, thank you, Quentin, for helping with some slang and lingo and a couple chirps that wouldn't offend your mother.
Yeah, no problem.
I will probably drag you on here at some point again, but
all right.
It's TBD. Now you can go hang out with the bunnies or the birds or whatever you call them.
The birds.
The birds. Have a good one. Until next week, Hockey Fam, we'll talk to you later. Thanks for tuning in today, and we appreciate you listening. Catch us next week for another mix of hockey tales, tricks, and/or tips.